Welcome to Best Friends Animal Sanctuary. Thank you for choosing to visit this extraordinary place and to give the gift of yourself and your time to these very special animals. My name is Gregory Castle and I'm the CEO of Best Friends, as well as one of the group of friends who founded the sanctuary nearly 30 years ago. Right now, I'm here in one of my favorite spots, Angel Canyon. It's a breathtaking location, and throughout are signs of ancient people who have gathered here for centuries. Today, it's a place where homeless pets gather to be loved and healed, and in most cases move on to loving homes. The animals come to the sanctuary from far and wide. Some are ill, some have been neglected or abused, and all are homeless. But once they're here, they receive everything they need physically, emotionally, and psychologically. As a volunteer, in whatever capacity, you'll be helping to make that happen. Of course, today, Best Friends has become much more than just a sanctuary. Best Friends Animal Society is now leading a nationwide movement to save the lives of homeless pets from coast to coast. We're on a mission to bring about a time when there are no more homeless pets. We hope that your commitment to volunteering to help the animals doesn't end when you leave the sanctuary. There is always the need for compassionate people like you to volunteer in your own communities for rescue groups and shelters, or by helping out at one of our national events like Stretch Your Mutt or the Pet Super Adoption. With your help, we'll continue to make great strides for the animals nationwide. The heart and soul of our work is still right here where our work began at Best Friends Animal Sanctuary. We're so glad you've decided to visit and volunteer. Thank you for being a part of this miracle of saving lives. While you're here, have fun, enjoy the animals, and please come back again and again.
Welcome to Best Friends. Thank you for volunteering here at the sanctuary. For the 1,700 or so animals who live here, it is their home between homes, where expert staff oversee every animal's needs. With this many animals to care for, it takes a lot of staff, as well as help from great volunteers, just like you. We want your volunteer experience at Best Friends to be the very best one possible. So this video will cover basic information, guidelines, and some safety tips to ensure that your time here is not only fun, but safe. To start with, let's touch on the volunteer timetable and why we try hard to keep it running like clockwork. There's a lot of work to be done, and we want to make sure that you get the total Best Friends experience. The morning shift starts at 8:15 a.m. and ends at 11:30 a.m. The afternoon shift starts at 1:15 p.m. and ends at 4 p.m. Please check in at headquarters building for the area you're scheduled to work in by these start times. If you're late for the check-in time, there's a good chance you won't be able to volunteer for that session, and we don't want you to miss out. When you first check in at an animal area headquarters, you'll see a safety video with helpful instructions on volunteering at that location. The only exception is at Dogtown.
I'm John.
And I'm Michelle. Welcome to Dogtown.
Because it touches on so much vital information, our Dogtown safety video will be shown to all our volunteers immediately following this orientation. Our staff has also helped determine how many volunteers and visitors can be on site at any given time to maintain a peaceful environment for our animals. With their welfare in mind, we require that volunteers only be allowed in animal areas when they are scheduled to be there or when they are on a specific animal area tour. Working with the animals works up an appetite, and that means at lunchtime it is time to take a break. All animal areas are closed between noon and 1 p.m., and that's a perfect time to grab lunch at our Angel Village Cafe. It's open from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. and offers a delicious vegetarian buffet. The village is also a great place to mingle with staff and other volunteers and to be captivated by the views from the terrace.
One important thing for you to remember is that Best Friends sits 5,000 feet above sea level. So if you're not accustomed to high altitudes, you may experience a period of adjustment. While you're working, pay attention to how you feel. If you become lethargic, dizzy, nauseous, or short of breath, please sit down. take a break, or cut your session short. Because this is a desert climate, dehydration can happen quickly, so we recommend you drink plenty of water while you're working. Feel free to take water breaks at any time to cool off. And if at any point you think you may need medical attention, be sure and let us know. There's always the potential for some bumps and bruises when you volunteer. If you do sustain an injury during your session, report it to a staff person right away so we can make sure you get the proper medical treatment. As you're getting to know your way around the sanctuary, we ask that you drive carefully and obey the posted speed limits. We're very fortunate to share Angel Canyon with lots of amazing wildlife and want to ensure their safety and yours. In addition to the posted speed limits, you'll see a variety of other signs with key information. These signs are important and are in place for safety reasons, so please keep an eye out for them.
Hi, I'm here at Cat World headquarters and I'd like you to meet Alan. No matter where you choose to volunteer, you'll be amazed by the wonderful animals you'll encounter and all the new things you'll learn. But before you experience just how cool this place is, here are a few things to keep in mind.
You'll need to make sure you have your own transportation when you're here at Best Friends. There are no cabs, shuttles, or stagecoaches to get you from place to place. If you're visiting with a group and you're volunteering in different areas, make sure to give yourself plenty of time for drop-offs so everyone can be on time for their shift. If you're working at Dogtown or Rescue Village, you'll also need to have transportation during your shift. If you're traveling here with younger volunteers, that's great. Young people are some of our most enthusiastic and dedicated helpers. We just ask that a parent or guardian accompany anyone under age 18 and stay with them at all times. We care about you from your head to your toes, so toss the flip-flops in your trunk because closed-toe shoes are a must. And when volunteering at Pigs and Horses, we recommend you wear long pants. In fact, wearing long pants is a good idea in any of the animal areas. Our horses and pigs are especially vulnerable to nasty stuff people can accidentally expose them to. To guard against any contamination, you must wear clean clothes and footwear that have not been worn around other animals when volunteering with horses or pigs. Additionally, if you have a cold or flu-like illness, you cannot volunteer with horses or pigs until at least 24 hours after you are free of any symptoms. When it comes to the animals, our caregivers have a lot of great advice. No one knows each animal's personality and quirks better, so please pay attention to their instructions. You're going to see hundreds of adorable furry faces, but to help avoid potential bites, please respect their space and keep your face a safe distance away. We also know it can be hard to resist those eyes, but don't give any animal food or treats unless it's something a caregiver has given you. Some of our animal friends have allergies and are on special diets. If you're traveling with personal pets, please make plans for them while you're here volunteering. To protect your pets and the sanctuary animals, we can't allow personal animal companions at the sanctuary, and that includes leaving them in your car. One of the coolest things you can do here at Best Friends is to take an animal on an outing or sleepover. If that sounds like fun, you'll need to do at least one full shift at that animal area to get the inside scoop. All outing and sleepover arrangements are made with the volunteer coordinator at the animal area headquarters. The staff there will give you all the details, but it's good to remember that all sleepover animals must be picked up at 3:30 p.m.
I'm here at Dogtown, one of the best-known spots at Best Friends. For 4 seasons, Dogtown was featured on a National Geographic TV show with the same name. In just a minute, you'll be watching our Dogtown safety video, but before we do, I want to say thanks again for being part of our volunteer team. To complete your orientation, our volunteer coordinators will give you a packet and name badge to wear at all times while you're here. If you need directions or have any questions, just ask. That's why we're here. On behalf of everyone here at Best Friends, thank you for volunteering. You're an invaluable part of this place. When you return home, We hope you'll continue volunteering in your own community and continue to make the sanctuary a regular part of your travels. Bye!
I'm John.
And I'm Michelle. Welcome to Dogtown.
There are so many ways that you can help us and the dogs while volunteering.
Your help allows us to provide every dog with more of what they need. Helping our caregivers with walking, grooming, poop scooping, and cleaning are just a few of the ways that you can help our dogs.
There are other things you can do too. You can take a dog on a sleepover, an outing, and there are training classes and seminars that you can attend. Thank you very much for volunteering.
Make sure you sign in at the beginning of each volunteer session at Dogtown headquarters. When you get to your assigned area, make sure you introduce yourself to the caregiver and let them know that you're there to help them.
There are important safety rules to follow to help keep the dog safe and, of course, to keep you safe too. If you have kids with you, let us know. Kids ages 10 to 18 are welcome to go into volunteer-friendly runs accompanied by a parent or guardian. But on a walk, the parent or guardian must hold the leash. You've been given a whistle. Wear it. This is your way to tell us you need help in an emergency. For instance, if you're out on a walk and a dog gets loose, blow your whistle continuously until a caregiver comes to assist you. There are different color collars that we use here, and each one has a different meaning. If a dog is wearing a green collar, he or she is safe for everyone. Dogs wearing purple collars should be handled by volunteers 18 and older. Dogs wearing red collars are for Dogtown staff only. There may be many reasons a dog is wearing a red collar, but it's important for volunteers to remember that they cannot interact with red collar dogs.
I'm gonna make sure I close that door so no dogs get out. This is one of the other types of locks that we have here at Dogtown. This lock is actually a slide mechanism, so you'll notice that it slides one way and the door can open either direction. You always want to make sure, once again, that when you are walking into a run, that you're walking in and you're always pushing the door in and you're blocking with your body. And that's so some of these crazy guys can't get out, huh? Ha, kilos. Ha, okay. So you notice on this particular gate that we have here in Dogtown, there's an extra chain that is attached, and it actually goes through the door handle and is brought outside. This is just a safety precaution so that we can make sure that if for some reason this door did not latch correctly, we've got something else holding those dogs in. This is the gate that we have here at the lodges, and one of the things about this gate, we want to always make sure that we use the pin correctly, and we get it in correctly when we open it. The pin comes out, the handle goes up, and then we're able to walk through. So you can already see how excited these guys are to see us here and play with us here. The thing we ask is no treats. Anything of high value tends to make them get more excited. And sometimes they get a little competitive for your attention when there's treats in the run. So have fun with them, play with them, enjoy their time, but no treats.
Sometimes the caregivers will ask you to help us out by putting the slides in for us. We use them to separate dogs for feeding and sometimes to create rest periods. The slider just goes into the grooves in the dog door. There are plastic ones and metal ones. They both work exactly the same, and we just set them to the side. One of the things that we want you to think about while you're here to keep you safe is safe handling. When you're interacting and petting the dogs, be aware that some dogs don't like to be touched everywhere. They don't like their ears, their feet touched, their collar pulled, their tail, and so be very conscious of the dogs. If you're interacting with a dog and you notice them react differently in an uncomfortable way, please let the caregivers know. That's something that we want to be aware of because we don't always know that they don't like their feet touched. So please let us know anything you see.
Please never put your fingers through the fencing as such. This could be mistaken for a treat, and that wouldn't be good for you guys. And also, no running or yelling in Dogtown. This could really overexcite the dogs and lead to problems in the run. And lastly, guys, please never grab a dog by its collar. Could be a very unsafe situation.
So all the areas you work in, you'll probably see at least one of these signs during your stay. This is a stop sign, which indicates that this run is a staff-only run for a period of time. And basically that's because we've usually introduced a new dog into the run. And for at least a week, we keep it staff-only for a few reasons. Primarily because sometimes the dogs haven't worked out their own issues and we don't want you to get in the middle of it, have you get hurt, or one of the dogs get hurt. So just make sure to pay attention and really honor these signs because they're very important. You'll also see miscellaneous signs, not just the staff-only signs, such as this one here. We do ask that you read all the signs. They're all very important. They have their own purpose, and it only takes a few seconds. Whether there's signs on a run or not, always make sure to check with your caregiver before entering any run.
Hi, Laura. Hi, Sugar. Hi, guys. Oh, we're just scared.
We really love it when volunteers want to go in the runs and socialize with the dogs. It's like the highlight of their day. They really appreciate the attention.
Babies, you're so good. I love you.
One thing we do ask you when you come into a run is let the dog approach you. Some of our babies are very shy and they just need to sniff you and get to know you a little bit before you actually get close to them. One of the things that we like you to keep in mind when you're in here with the dogs is please don't throw the toys for the dogs unless a caregiver specifically tells you that you can. It can cause them to get really excited, and we just don't want anyone to get hurt while they're in here with the dogs. Another good thing to keep in mind is please don't try to take toys from their mouth or play tug-of-war with them. Feeding the dogs has its own set of rules, so if you're here during feeding time, we'll explain those to you when it applies.
Walking dogs here is a lot of fun. It's one of the most popular and helpful ways you can spend time with the dogs here at Dogtown. There are, however, just a few important rules to keep in mind. Always remember 1 dog per person, and if you are with a group and you all want to walk a dog and you want to walk dogs together, the dogs need to be from the same run because they live together and they know each other pretty well by now. All of our areas have well-marked walking trails. It's important to stay on the trails to preserve the environment around best friends. There are 1 or 2 things to keep in mind about that though. There are important exceptions. When you're on a trail, you don't want to pass another dog or let another dog pass you unless you're a safe distance apart. In cases like that, it's okay to step off the trail and step back about 15 to 20 feet so other dogs can pass safely. That may seem like a long way, but between your 6-foot leash and the other person's 6-foot leash, you've already lost 12 feet. So please keep a safe distance for the dog's sake. Taking our dogs for a walk should be a fun and enjoyable experience for you and the dog. So please, no jerking or pulling on the leashes. The dogs are not in a hurry to get around on the trail, and the other dogs will get their turn. There are a lot of volunteers and staff here to help with them, so please be sure to be kind and gentle with them at all times.
While you're here, you're welcome to take some of our dogs on sleepovers or outings. This can be a great experience for them. Not only do you get to hang out with the dog, but they also can get a little socialization, and they can also get a little bit of experience. It's more like a real home. It can be great for them. Before you take your sleepover or outing dog, we ask that you stop by the volunteer coordinator's desk in Dogtown headquarters. You'll do some paperwork and then they'll call on the radio and have the dog brought down to you, or they might send you to have the dog picked up. When taking an outing or sleepover dog, there are a few basic safety precautions that we ask that you follow with the dog in your car. First of all, there should only be 1 dog per car. If you're taking 2 dogs, you'll need 2 cars. Secondly, never leave the dog unattended in the car, even if your windows are cracked or the air conditioning is on. This is for your safety as well as the safety of your vehicle. Finally, although it's nice to roll down the windows a little bit to give the dog a little fresh air, be very, very careful because some dogs will try and use an open window as an exit. So please crack the windows just a little bit, and if the windows are down more than a little bit, keep the dog restrained in the vehicle. It's all about keeping you safe, keeping the dog safe, and having fun. Great.
Thank you for coming to volunteer, and we'll see you in Dogtown.
Thank you again for volunteering. We really appreciate your help.
Thank you for volunteering here at Dogtown.
Each and every day that you're here means a great deal to us and even more to the dogs. So thank you.
Thank you for coming to volunteer with us, and we'll see you in Dogtown.
Enjoy your time at Best Friends and in Dogtown. We really appreciate your help.
And thank you so much for volunteering.